Hello and welcome to another episode of Top Deck, the series where we take a look at some of the leading TCG deck lists. On today we have James Edwards, who made top 4 at the recent UK regional in Reading. Lots of R's there. With none other than Infernoid. So before we get into this list, as with every single episode of Top Deck where you can actually see the deck list in front of you, you can actually get this entire list as a dueling book deck profile, as a link, an export link right now. Just head into the description, click on the link, you'll get the full list here, just in case you can't see anything because it's maybe not too big, or if you actually want to go ahead and test this out immediately, the full list is right there, so drop down into the description, pick it up, and move ahead with your life. So let's take a look at this list then. So top 4 at a regional fairly early in the format. There wasn't masses of Spiral for this particular event. There was actually quite a lot of rogue stuff. If you look at some of the other top 8 lists, we've actually got a few on the channel already. You can see Spiral really did not dominate the Reading metagame. There was just a lot of sort of random other stuff there, which may have helped, may have hindered. It's really not entirely clear, but what is clear is that James managed to make top cut with this very nice Infernoid list. Let's get into it. So triple Decatron, double Anunku, double Deviati, and then one of Attendel, Sightseemus, Jete, Petrulia, Harmodic, and Antra. So that's a lot of names, a lot of individual names, and not a lot of Infernoids total, only 13 total, which is a really small count. But if we look at some of the sort of recent Infernoid lists, they've all been opting to play very few actual Infernoids and just spam out all of the other like monster pumping cards and the additional draw power. So then he's also got triple Lava Golem in here. It is a fire, which is, you know, sometimes relevant, and it does remove plenty of problems. If you drop this on a Spiral board, they're going to really struggle, so actually quite a nice choice. I quite like this one actually. And then triple Void Imagination, triple Void Vanishment, triple Monster Gate, triple Pot of Extravagance. This is something that we've been seeing creep into the sort of more budgety decks, I want to say. If you watched my discussion on the KCG podcast about budget decks, we did bring up Pot of Extravagance, and it's quite an interesting one, and I just want to briefly recap one of the points that we made there, which is that Pot of Extravagance upon release was a very expensive card. As a result, initially it was pretty much entirely played by, you know, really keen meta players and put into pre-existing meta decks, specifically Altergeist. As the format has developed, more and more people have got access to this card, and we're seeing it played in a much wider variety of decks, particularly Infernoid. We've seen it also really popular in Dinosaur as well. So just something I wanted to highlight. We're going to be seeing a lot more of Extravagance in more unusual decks like this, and I think it's going to make a really big impact there too. Now this is a Lair of Darkness list, so you contribute your opponent's monsters, which is always pretty nice. 2 Mystic Mine here as well, and 2 Mind Control, and 1 Terraforming for the traps, triple Impermanence, 1 Void Feast, and triple Evenly Matched. So very much a going second list, this one. You can lock your opponent out the game by evenly awaying their board, lava goleming their monsters, void imaginationing into like your massive Tierra, or just drop a Mystic Mine or something, and you just can auto win from there. The extra deck has, obviously, you know, you have to run some triples. So triple Tierra, triple Untus, double Equimax for the OTK. This one's really nice actually, I quite like this. So basically you make your Equimax really buffed, you attack with that, and then you tribute it off and continue to attack with all your Inferno monsters. Always nice. Then loads of Link monsters just to get your monsters off the board and get your way into the Equimax. So there's a Phoenix, Heater, Lambda, Wee Witch's Apprentice, Beat Cop, and Barricade Ball Blocker. And the final monster is a Cypher Lord Omega, because sometimes you want to send this with the Tierra when it resolves. For the side deck, this is pretty interesting. So triple Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood, clearly slightly worried about the impact of time, which is pretty interesting for a going second list. Then 1 Pancratops, triple Twisters, triple Callby, double Cosmic Cyclone, double Void Feast, and finally 1 copy of Red Reboot. Now we don't have the siding strategy or the rounds, unfortunately, from James. If you're watching this, James, please do put those in the comment section below so that our other viewers can get a quick look at that. I was only able to get this list in a bit of a rush at the end of the regional because there was so much going on. So thanks very much, James, for submitting this list. Congratulations on the top, and looking forward to seeing what else you can do with Infernoids and maybe more in the future.